welcome to All Things Real Estate, or the Real Estate Podcast.
The Real Talk Podcast with Gary Kelley.
All Things Real Estate is a different show that I do. We're talking about the things that you do for giving back to the community and how the office is filled with toys, and it's wonderful and a great feeling. This morning, we're recording this the week before Christmas. You put up a note saying, we've got food insecurity issues. We got to work this. And I've got a couple of personal stories that I'm going to tell.
Okay, I love it.
And then you get to talk.
Perfect.
One is I was having adult beverages with Kate Donahue, who's this state rep covering Framingham, Southborough, Northborough, and part of Westborough.
Okay.
And it was just when the migrant situation, I don't like that term.
Me either.
The newcomers, when the newcomers were coming, she's like, deer in the headlights. We don't know what to do.
Yeah.
We know where they're going to be. How are we going to get food to them? And honestly, not to boast, I took a check out and wrote it to her.
That's what I love about you. Yep.
No, but...
Doing your part.
And then she calls back 2 weeks later. Well, you made it out to me. Can you make it out to my campaign? Because it's about the funding. Oh, stop it.
Right. You don't want her going to jail for that, but I get it.
But it's like, Kate, And then stuff like that. You've got the Westboro Community Dinner.
Yep. Amazing.
Thanksgiving. Hundreds of families. You got all these volunteers making food. And it's a great day.
Right. Day. I know.
I don't know about you. I'm a big guy.
Yeah.
I don't experience famine every day, and I'm not trying to make light of that.
Yeah.
But, it's not like you can't.
Every day.
Yeah.
Right.
And I know that there's places where if you don't have food, you can go.
Yep.
You can go to the food pantry, which seems like you're looking for a place to house one. Is that correct?
Pretty soon our basement is going to be the food pantry, but we'll get into that.
Okay. No, but there's one in Westboro that's in one of their many town buildings.
Yep.
And there are people that organize it. And one of the things that's interesting is they have times when they're open,
Right.
times when they're not. And they're very specific. Did I say anal retentive about what you can take, how many you can take, because they have to. They've learned this over time.
Yeah.
How do we solve that problem? Because it's, in my mind, I'm the greeter at the community dinner and sign people in and all that stuff. And it's a great feeling for a day.
Right. That's the biggest thing. It's a day. And, with the cost of food, I talk to Dean all the time and I'm like, look at what we spend for a family of 3 every week on food. That's 3.
Plus the dogs.
Well, the dogs eat way better than us, however. That's a whole separate story. But I can't imagine being a single parent or low income or unemployed trying to feed a family. It's unreal. So the community refrigerators are amazing. However, it is very, very, very difficult to keep them stocked. You'll get Wegmans donations and Panera donations and all this for a day, but then all of a sudden it's gone.
Right.
And what I hate the most is when I get these messages. I've been to the refrigerator 3 times. It's empty. The pantry's empty. All these things. So my mission a few weeks ago was trying to find a space, and you probably saw that on the forum, that, who would volunteer, who would donate, and hundreds and hundreds of people on the forum came out and said, once it's up and running, let's go. Now I'm desperately trying to find a place to go. Thank God we have a full basement downstairs. If worse comes to worse, that's what I'm going to do for now until we can find an actual space. There's no space in any of the town buildings and things like that. I've exhausted every resource. I'm at the point where I want Dean to build like a little structure out back that we can insulate and put shelving up and just have everything there. And twice a week or 3 times a week for 2 hours, we open it up and we're there to have people come in. What I put up today was a town-wide food drive because, again, people want to help. They don't always know how to help or where to help. So we'll provide that avenue where January 6th and 7th, it's a Saturday, Sunday from 10 to 12, we're setting up on the town hall lawn. And we're asking, bring supplies, bring canned goods, non-perishable foods. I will store them all here. We will keep the refrigerator filled. Hopefully, we get a ton throughout the winter. But it is definitely a challenge, and there's a ton of them in Worcester. That it's just so difficult to keep these things stocked. It's, and unfortunately, yes, as we talked about in the previous segment, there are people that take advantage. I put 1,000,000 bunt cakes in after an event I did one day, and a half an hour later, they were all gone. You don't know who took what, fine, it's not my business, but it's hard to make it fair for people that, some might be picking up for a friend. That's amazing. But we want to know that we can help as many people as we possibly can.
Years ago, I worked for Fidelity Investments in downtown Boston, and as a company, the company, part of the company I was in, wanted to go out and participate in this.
Okay.
And so they set it up so we could go to a local food pantry.
Yep.
And cook food.
Okay.
So I'm in the kitchen. Some of the people, I remember the president of the company is sorting shirts.
Okay.
Because the shirts that people donate aren't always stuff that you want to keep.
Yes.
Okay.
Hence all the trash out there. Yeah.
So he's sorting, and I'm in the kitchen, and I said to the chef who's cooking, like, I don't know how many, 50 gallons of soup at a time.
Right.
I said, this must make you feel really good. And he says, no, not at all.
Yeah.
And I said, why? He says, because you have construction workers coming in every day.
Oh.
They have money.
Right.
And he says, the people that need it may not know. And and he says, that's a problem. And from his perspective, he says it's almost like we're enabling people not to take care of themselves.
Right.
Which was like, I was blown away by that.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I work with I know a lot of people that run nonprofits and food pantries. And, I think the problem is, again, we don't know everybody's story.
Absolutely.
So, I always, sometimes if I get frustrated with certain things, I just take a step back and say, why am I doing this? And again, my main motivation of doing this is to help people or bring people together and make them more aware of what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how we're doing it. And, hopefully they further that mission. And that's important. We're never going to know everybody's stories. We're never going to know why. That construction worker, who knows? Maybe he's just started. Maybe, who knows?
No, it was Big Dig, and then it was right there. No, I'm serious.
But I get, right.
But, and I don't know if at the end of the year, the Big Dig guys came in and gave him $1,000 check. I have no idea.
Right.
What I know is the Big Dig guys came in at lunchtime.
Right.
Not for me to question.
Hopefully we lead by example to make people follow suit. So hopefully that guy says, you know what? That guy Gary served me soup that day. One day, or I'm going to teach my kids or whatever, they'll go and pay it forward.
How can people help with that particular effort?
Oh, there's a million ways. So, Kindness Coalition of Massachusetts is on Facebook. Feel free to join that. We have thousands of people in that group. I put a call to action. People jump up in a second. People can add me on Facebook personally, Andrea Castinetti. I'm always posting there first, just because my network is vast there. And, anytime I need help, literally, if I'm begging especially, people jump up and, we can usually get wishes fulfilled pretty quickly. So those are the two major ways to find me.
Great. Well, thank you for coming out and playing today.
Of course, my pleasure.
It's a really cruddy day, and
we made it.
That you were able to make it.
And my hair's not frizzy, so we're good.
My hair's not frizzy when I have them. Thank you.
Of course.